everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
And then he asked about the book, which was a gift from Picard, and he asked whether he valued it, and he says yes, because it's a reminder of friendship and service. And then, what's this? It's the little hologram of Tasha.
Data's like, wait, no, don't turn that on here.
Oh my.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
And it's enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
But you can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Your Honor, I object. And welcome to...
That's what you gotta start it with that.
And welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm the defense attorney, Sarah Ray.
And I am the plaintiff, Allie Ashby.
Before we get into the episode this week, we have con news. There's a lot of shit going on right now. You are, as this episode releases, headed out to Las Vegas. I'm so jealous.
I'm so excited. I think it's actually more affordable than the cruise. Like, on a budget, I think it's more affordable than the cruise. A short flight to Vegas, rooms aren't that bad, and admission isn't that bad. So definitely, if I can go on the cruise, I'll go. But this will definitely be something that's more doable.
I think we definitely need to figure out a way to get Humanist Trek a presence.
Yeah,
at the con.
I will. I'll do some recon while I'm there. I'll talk to Jesse, and I think the Sci-Fi Sisters will be there too. And so I'm super excited to see them again, and also see Jesse again, and of course hang out with Karen.
Yes.
I don't have any costumes other than just the usual uniform. I was gonna do I had some cool ideas, but time got away from me. So, but I'll wear my uniform at least one day, and then definitely our Humanist Trek shirts.
Nice.
Because it's hot as shit out there anyway, so I'm like, I don't want to be in all these clothes.
Searching.
Vendor tables are $535.
Okay.
We might be able to save up that much over the next year.
Yeah, we could do that.
And then, just as you're getting back, it's going to be time to load up the car and go again because Fort Collins Comic-Con is coming up.
Whoop, whoop. That's going to be fun.
That is August 16th and 17th at the Fort Collins Senior Center. It's a lot cooler than it sounds. The Senior Center.
It really is. We made jokes about it last time because it was our first time. Oh, it's going to be at a Senior Center. It's fine. It was great, actually.
Yeah.
We met lots of people.
And this year, some big announcements. The Doug Jones will be in Fort Collins.
Yes. Okay. So I'll sign up. I'll sign us up to at least get a photo with him.
That would be amazing. So in addition to Doug Jones, they put a big focus on science, of course. And so there's a lot of science guests. Melody Storia Mobley. She is the first Black woman serving as a forester for the USDA.
Oh, wow.
So she's going to be there to tell her story.
Black people.
And this is 48 years ago. She was the first Black woman into this job. And so she's been doing this for a long time. Yeah. Dr. James Negus who is a Colorado State University professor who does a lot of work around inertial fusion energy, apparently.
Ooh, that's so super sciencey Star Trek-ish.
Dr. Michael Wong, who was there last year, he works at the Carnegie Institution for Science's Earth and Planets Laboratory. He's a planetary scientist and astrobiologist.
That sounds cool.
And some local stuff too. Like I think they're connected with like the Weld County 4-H. The director or outreach person or somebody from there is going to be here. So it's local too, which I think is cool. There's like local artists and cosplay people and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And the beneficiary, as was last year, is the Alliance for Suicide Prevention of Larimer County. So it's a good cause, too. They raise a shit ton of money for this organization every year by doing this event. So come on out to the Fort Collins Senior Center in Fort Collins, Colorado, August 16th and 17th. We will be there. We will be doing our panel. Oh, Allie, what were we going to be talking about on our panel?
I don't know, some humanism stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We got a couple weeks. Well, we will litigate the finer points of humanism at the Fort Collins Comic-Con. And today on Star Trek The Next Generation, we're going to litigate Data's personhood in Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 9, The Measure of a Man.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? Got something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse comm.
Number one, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number one, keep them out of my way.
This week, we're headed to Starbase 173, drop off some experiments, switch out some new crew, get that annoying Benzite out of here.
Yeah. So I love that they open the show with, we see them playing poker.
Yeah.
And it was one of their regular downtime pastimes that we love to see. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is when they started it.
It's another one of those things that's like, oh my God, how long ago this was a thing? Like it's been, the officers' poker game has been a thing since almost the beginning.
Yeah.
Riker, Data, Geordi, Pulaski, and O'Brien play a round of poker, and this is clearly Data's first time playing the game, which of course provides some great comedic moments. He's wearing this transparent green dealer visor hat thing, which is a fucking riot.
Yes. And he knows like the technicalities of how to play poker, which I never learned how to play poker.
Oh, really?
No. But he doesn't know like the little nuances like bluffing and tells and that kind of thing.
So they get right down to the end of this round, and it's him and Riker, and they have like a staring contest. And Data's like, wait, is this what's known as a poker face? And Riker easily bluffs Data right up to losing. And he's like, can't read mine, no, he can't read my poker face.
And basically, Riker beat him with a losing hand.
Yeah. And this is a good lesson for Data. Like, sometimes you don't win by having the better hand. Sometimes you win by making the other person think you have the better hand. So we arrive at Starbase, and I love the look of the Starbase exterior. This is one of my favorite Starbases.
Yeah.
It's not the mushroom one. It's like one we've seen in TOS, right?
Yeah. I think I want to say that they used it in one of the movies.
I think so. In the Starbase interior, however, Picard is sipping some tea when a woman enters the lounge and clearly takes his breath away, because he rocks up to her with the line, if we weren't around all these people, you know what I want to do to you? My God, eat your heart out, we'll always have Paris lady.
Okay. Apparently they know each other. Her name is Philippa Louvois. And I guess it's been 10 years since they've seen each other. And she's like, if there weren't all these people, what would you do? And she's like, oh, you bust a chair across my teeth? What? What kind of foreplay talk is that?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, after that. And she's like, oh, ain't love wonderful? Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tenderine. This is Philippa Louvois, played by Amanda MacBroom, who, in addition to a bunch of acting credits on both stage and screen, is a composer who wrote that instant Bette Midler hit, The Rose.
Oh, that's why you were singing that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. I'm like, that's so random, but I joined in.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song back in the day.
We all did. It was an anthem for an era.
Mm-hmm.
So these two have some kind of history, and it sounds like it's maybe 50% adversarial and 50% fuck buddies, and we're just not real sure yet.
Yeah.
And if we went around all these people, you know what I would like to do?
After the theme, we learn a little bit about the history between these two. Apparently, she was the prosecutor in the Stargazer court-martial, which we are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she feels like she was kind of pushed out of Starfleet for something. We're not really clearly told, but she's found her way back here to this newly commissioned starbase to run the new JAG office out here. He tells her she always enjoyed the arguing part of all of this more than, actually getting the truth. And he's like, I hope you've learned a little wisdom these past 10 years. And she's like, God, I missed you. You're still an arrogant ass. Let's go fuck.
Yes, because she says he's a damn sexy man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the sexual tension is pretty, pretty thick.
Until they're interrupted by Vice Admiral Nakamura wearing a rarely seen Admiral uniform design. And he is played by Clyde Kusatsu, who is still kicking. Recently, he's been on Days of Our Lives and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
You've seen him in a ton of shows, just about all of the soaps over the years.
I didn't look him up, but was he in Magnum PI?
Probably. He played like a lot of doctors, I think.
Searching.
Yeah. He was in 8 episodes, a few different characters of Magnum PI.
I love that show. So he also comes in with Commander Bruce Maddox, which is he's this dude that's like slinking around behind Nakamura. Philippa excuses herself and says, buy me dinner, and she's off. He introduces Bruce Maddox and says that he's got an interesting proposal, but he's like, but we'll talk about that later. But I want to see the Enterprise. So off they go to the bridge.
Maddox is played by Brian Brophy, who appeared on Max Headroom. I'm always gonna point that one out.
I don't remember him though.
He was in The Shawshank Redemption and Armageddon. Riker announces Admiral on the bridge as they step off the turbolift, and throughout this walk about the bridge, Maddox and Data clearly also have some kind of history or something, because Maddox is eyeing Data, and Data looks very uncomfortable.
It's like Data knows that there's something, he can feel his eyes, and he's like, as he's walking behind him, he's like, why is he looking at me? But there's definitely some history there.
Meanwhile, Picard and Nakamura talk about establishing a base so close to the Romulan DMZ, and Maddox finds a natural break in the conversation to insert himself. And Nakamura's like, oh yeah, that's right. Maddox came here to work on your android. Make sure he gets what he needs. Take care of him. And now we learn here that Maddox is another anti-android asshole, calls Data it.
Yeah.
And he was the sole member of the committee reviewing Data's entry into Starfleet Academy to oppose that entry. Now he wants to take Data apart. Fuck.
I know. Just drop that on the bridge.
Who was that last asshole that this guy gives that guy vibes. The guy that he was with the conspiracy people.
I can't think of his name right now. He's the blonde guy.
Yeah, he got exploded in conspiracy, that dude. He reminds me a lot of him. Picard, Riker, Data, and Maddox go to the conference room to talk this through, where Maddox keeps referring to Data as it, and talks to Picard and Riker with his back to Data.
Oh man, that is like the episode that I think it was for Troy.
Yes, she got pregnant.
They were talking about Troy while she's in the room as if she's not. It's so What's the word?
Dehumanizing.
Dehumanizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point here.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's a student of Dr. Noonien Soong's work, and he's tried to continue his work, although he seems to be kind of inept at it, as Data kind of points out. But he wants to duplicate his work, but in order to do that, he feels like he's got to take Data apart.
Data's like, you created a positronic brain? Well, have you figured out the fundamental problem that's prevented everyone else from being able to do it? And Maddox is like, no, but once I get you into pieces, I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yeah.
Data's like, Captain, this so-called scientist's basic research is bullshit. Like, we shouldn't trust this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
And of course, Picard backs him up.
I love that.
Yeah. But Maddox was like, I was already prepared for this. I've got a warrant for your arrest. Here's your transfer orders from Starfleet. I hoped you would go willingly, but I guess we got to do it the hard way.
Yeah, that's typical police action. Is like they ask you, knowing full well you're gonna refuse. Oh, here's a warrant.
Yep. Yeah. This transfer order moves Data from the D to Starfleet under Maddox's command.
Captain, Commander Maddox is here to work on your android. Please take care of it.
What exactly will this work entail?
I am going to disassemble Data.
Picard is pissed. He's in his ready room, and Data comes to see him because he'd sent for him. And he says, sit down. We got a problem. And Data's like, yeah, no. I won't submit to this procedure. And Picard, although he feels like his hands are tied, he's like, he doesn't want to do this either, but he feels like Starfleet's gonna make him.
I don't like Picard in this scene.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It didn't feel to me like I don't want to do it, but my hands are tied. He says, I don't want to lose you, Data, but I also have to consider Starfleet's interests.
Okay.
And Starfleet's interests are that many more Datas could be made. And I'm not proud of Picard in this moment, but I am super proud of Data, because Data's like, well, wouldn't you say Geordi's vision is better than average human vision? Then why aren't all humans forced to have their eyes replaced with Geordi eyes?
And that is why Picard didn't have a thing to say to him back, and he basically dismissed him.
Yeah.
Right. When Data leaves, Picard does, pull up all information on Starfleet regulations based on transfer.
I didn't like this moment either, because Picard, the fucking triumphant Star Trek music plays as Picard decides to, study up on the law or whatever. We started this scene with Picard I have to consider Starfleet, the benefits of this to Starfleet. And now he's in the last 36 seconds, changed his tune completely. I don't think he gets the hero music. Not yet, anyway.
So you're bothered by the music. I mean,
they play this.
I know.
It's now superhero Picard is coming to save the day. Nah, he was just like, I'm sorry, Data. We could have lots more Datas, and wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't like the way they wrote Picard here. I just don't.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
So after he pulls all the Starfleet regulations, he goes straight to the JAG office, and she's like, oh, twice in 2 days. But he gets right to the point. He needs her help trying to make sense of all of the Starfleet regulations. He's trying to keep Data from being transferred into some sort of ill-conceived experiment, and he's trying to put a stop to it.
One of my favorite things in this scene is he comes in and he's like, hey, listen, I need you to help me translate this legal gobbledygook. This shit doesn't make any sense to me. And gobbledygook is one of my favorite words of all time. And the inspiration for my very first domain name back in the early 2000s, I think, my original website was gobbledygook, but my friends and I couldn't agree how to spell that. So we hyphenated it to Gobgook, which is GOB-GOOK, which was my original website.
Nice. I wonder if anybody has that now.
I doubt it. We set out to create what would, eventually become very commonplace on the internet, but we were just, we were doing it in static HTML files before, we didn't know what we were doing. We were doing like movie reviews and book reviews and shit like that.
You were destined to be a podcaster.
I guess so. Louvois says that Data can refuse the procedure, but not the transfer. And that seems like it should be the end of it. But Picard sees Maddox for the mustache-twirling villain he is. And Picard's like, no, Data has rights, damn it, and this whole thing is unjust. And Louvois takes a shot at Picard for his passion over a machine, but he shuts her right up, which I love. This is serious. He's not fucking around here.
I'm glad he gets props for that.
Mm-hmm, yep. Yeah, after that first scene, he turns the corner and now we're good, but I didn't like that he was shown in that way. Anyway, I will stop litigating that point.
Okay. Sustained, okay? Sustained, Sarah, sustained. But she says, well, he can always resign.
Data is packing his shit to leave, and the items he chooses to pack are a fantastic argument in favor of Data's personhood.
Oh, this was heartbreaking for
I
me
know,
to watch.
I know. He's got this little paperweight hollow thing that shows an image of Tasha, someone very special to him. And from a drawer, he takes a case full of the medals he's been awarded over all the years and a book of Shakespeare. Interesting things for an android to keep.
As he walks away to go get something, and fucking Maddox just walks into his quarters and picks up a book and starts quoting something from one of the Shakespeare books, and Data immediately calls him out. I love how Data is constantly just pointing out what a dick he is. He's like, shouldn't you knock, basically? In Data speak, he basically says, shouldn't you fucking knock before you enter an individual's quarters?
Yeah, I love it. And I love it that was the answer to a question. Maddox asks him, he's reading this poetry, prose, Shakespearean stuff, and he's like, is this just words to you, Data, or do you understand the meaning? And Data's like, aren't you supposed to knock? Like, he doesn't even give the question the time of day.
Right. And it's like, are you even human? And of course, Maddox doesn't even give his question the time of day either.
Data tears this guy up, and it feels so good. It's just one criticism of his expertise after another. And I love it. I'm here for it. Data's like, Maddox could probably transfer the information, of course, but not the experiences. There's something fundamental would be lost in that transfer. Maddox is like, well, tough shit, because we're doing this. You're under my command now. And Data says, actually, no, I'm not. I have resigned from Starfleet. Maddox is like, you what?
You can't resign. And I would say that's a check on a board of chess. He says that, if I'm destroyed, something unique, something wonderful would be lost, and I can't permit that. I'm going to protect Noonien Sung's dream. And so Maddox is like, well, fuck this. Keep packing, but I'm going to
I'll get you, my pretty.
I know. I'll make you regret this.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state. Is it just words to you? Or do you fathom the meaning?
Is it not customary to request permission before entering an individual's quarters?
Maddox, seeking his legal options, has now also visited Philippa Louvois, who has called Picard in as well to hash this thing out. Maddox accuses Picard of emotional sentimentality for Data because it looks human. He says, if this were a box on wheels, this wouldn't be an issue. And Philippa's like, oh, trust me, Picard is anything but sentimental. First-hand account right here. But Maddox has had this dream of a Data on every starship and insists that Data should not be allowed to resign. Picard counters that Data is a Starfleet officer, which comes with rights. And Maddox, completely goes unhinged. What about my rights to perform dangerous experiments that I'm unqualified to perform?
Exactly.
Where's my straight white guy parade? What about my rights?
Oh, the entitlement. Oh.
Yeah.
This is so all about him and not really Starfleet. It's about Maddox trying to figure out why he couldn't come up with Data because he's just not smart enough, and he's gonna take Data apart just to prove that he's good enough. That what I mean? It's almost like he's got envy of the creator of Data.
Mm-hmm. Unlike the Supreme Court in the year of our Lord 2025, Philippa says, we have the rule of law here in the UFP. 2025 America, not so much, but here in the Star Trek future, we still have the rule of law. You can't just disappear people off the streets and throw them into alligator Alcatraz or perform crazy experiments on them.
Right.
And Maddox is like, Jesus, do you hear yourself? Now you're doing it. He, people, rights, Data is a machine. Where's that doctor of yours? I know she gets this.
Oh, that's maybe, yeah. But she's changing.
Picard's like, dude, this isn't the Republican Party. This is the fully automated luxury gay space communism federation, my guy. We don't just ignore laws we don't like. Data has rights. Get over it.
But then Maddox counters and says, well, would you let the computer of the Enterprise refuse a refit?
Mm.
And then that has Philippa thinking, oh, shit, well, the Enterprise computer is property of Starfleet. Is Data property? And Maddox says he is property. So then she's like, well, maybe there is a law to support this position.
Picard challenges her to find that law and says he hopes she uses the same zeal that she used against him in the Stargazer court-martial.
Oh, that I had no doubt that she would.
Mm-hmm. A small going-away party has convened in 10 Forward where Riker, Troy, Worf, Pulaski, and young Wesley have gathered to give Data gifts.
Aww.
And this is a great comedic break in the legal drama. Data is carefully removing the wrapping paper like your grandma at Christmas because we could reuse it.
Hell yeah. And that's me. I would do it. I'd do the same.
Which makes sense in the present. Present, joke, gift, present.
Wow.
Where paper is a finite resource, but in the future where matter can be reconstituted into something else later, who gives a shit?
But it's the tradition of it.
I guess.
But so, yeah, Wesley's like, you're missing the point,
Ripping the paper is part of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the fun. So finally, he rips the paper, but only after he's already unwrapped it. He rips it in half.
So good.
And Worf has given him a book called The Dream of Fire by Karatak.
Much like Shakespeare, this book is best in its original Klingon or whatever. That's a thing Star Trek loves to do. For a warrior class race, they're awfully serious about their literature.
Well, Klingon men read poetry.
Right? And duck a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Pulaski starts to argue back about this claim because that's her nature, but she decides to table it for another time.
Yeah, let's not make it about you, Pulaski. This is about Data. Geordi's over in the corner, kind of not taking part in the festivities, and Data comes over to see, what's going on. And then he's really sad because he's losing his buddy.
Yeah, they're best friends. This is bullshit. This isn't fair.
Yeah.
Back on the station, Louvois has Picard and Riker gathered to share her findings. Based on the Acts of Cumberland passed in the early 21st century, Data is the property of Starfleet. He cannot resign, and he cannot refuse to cooperate with Commander Maddox. Shit.
Anyway, we can talk about this how I feel at the end. But of course, Picard's thinking, okay, how do I challenge this? And well, if you want to challenge, you got to have a hearing. And so fine, Picard's like, I'm challenging.
Yeah, make it so, Captain Louvois.
So she's been newly appointed JAG. She has no staff, so it would be hard for them to have like a court, like a legal hearing.
Before I looked this up, after we answered our question, which I'm sure is incorrect, I had another thought on the way to finding the correct answer, and I thought that it was maybe it was this scene. Because she doesn't have any staff, legally she's allowed to like just appoint people to serve as counsel. And okay, we know lawyer Picard very well as the defending attorney. That works. But Riker's going to be the prosecuting attorney.
Yeah.
What, with his one elective in interstellar law at the academy or whatever? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not a law talking lady, but I think in reality, this would trigger a stay against the enforcement of the Acts of Cumberland against Data, and or an injunction against Data's resignation and Maddox performing his crazy experiment until such time that a proper staff could be transported out here or the D returned to Earth or to another place where there was proper staff. Let's just assign people to play lawyer. I don't know. Like, they're trying to do this frontier cowboy shit, but in the 24th century with faster than light travel and video communications, I don't see a need for this.
Yeah, they could have done
They could have got on Zoom.
Telecourt, a Zoom court. But the thing was that Riker was going to have to be the prosecuting attorney, which means he's got to argue against Data. And he's like, I'm not doing it. That's my friend. That's, we served together and I respect him. I consider him a friend. And she's like, well, if you don't do it, then I'm just going to rule and say he's got to go. So he has no choice but to agree. And she says, well, then you better also do a good job. Because if I think you're not doing your best, then I'll fucking end it right there.
Picard's like, oh, you don't have to remind us of our responsibility. You just remember yours. The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth or whatever. We haven't had that episode yet.
Then I will rule summarily based on my findings. Data is a toaster. Have him report immediately to Commander Maddox for experimental refit.
Data comes to Picard's ready room to get the update on Louvois' findings, and he seems pretty quick to accept his fate. But Picard's like, Data, get back here. That's not what we do on Star Trek. We're challenging this ruling, of course, and we're going to put this question of your legal status to rest once and for all. Of course, if you don't want me to represent you, we can probably petition to, assign somebody else. And Data's like, no, come on, you're lawyer Picard. There's nobody else I would want to defend me.
Yeah. But Riker is preparing for his part in the trial, and he's asking the computer to give him all available technical specs on Data. And as all this information flashes on the screen, I think there's like a little off button, like blinking, because that's not common knowledge. As far as we knew, only Crusher knew how to turn him off. So he's looking at the stuff and smiling because I think he got caught up in the task of, okay, I've got to win. But then the smile just goes away from his face and he realizes just exactly what he's about to have to do.
Yeah. In the courtroom, Louvois convenes the hearing, and Riker, sitting with Maddox, calls Data to the stand as Data's accomplishments are read out by the computer. Riker asks to waive the readout, but Picard objects because all these honors and medals he's received weigh in Data's favor.
Hell yeah. Does this remind you of a particular scene in TOS?
Oh, was this court-martial?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't remember that. Oh,
yeah.
I just got goosebumps.
I know.
Wow.
It was so very similar. Again, not exactly the same, but just elements.
Yeah.
Of TOS, where I think they were reading out Spock's. Was it Spock's?
Yeah.
Credentials?
Might have been. Yeah. Well, Starfleet sure seems to have been treating Data as a person all this time.
Yeah. You don't give something not a person a rank. You certainly don't fucking give them medals.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's keep using the earlier analogy. Would you award a medal to the Enterprise computer? Of course not.
Exactly. But they didn't bring that up in the trial.
No. Nope. Anyway, Riker asks some questions and gets the Webster's 24th Century Dictionary definition of android and asks about Dr. Soong, a human. He asks about Data's AMD Ryzen 164,000 series processor, sticks of RAM, and hard drive capacity. And then he asks Data to bend this rod of par steel, which Picard objects to on the grounds that many life forms possess strength beyond that of humans. But Lavoie doesn't agree, and I think that's a bad call, bad ref call.
Yeah, when he objected, she should have said sustained. But
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of life forms.
She allowed it. She allowed the demonstration. That made no difference. That demonstrated nothing.
No. Next, Riker mentions Lore here and talks about the record of Lore's construction and asks to remove Data's hand, which Picard jumps from his chair to object to, but quickly withdraws the objection.
This I don't understand. Why did he withdraw his objection? Or why do you think? Because he says it doesn't. He's like, oh, it doesn't matter. And then objection withdrawn.
Right. I don't know.
But this is, again, dehumanizing, where Riker goes over, and then even though he whispers, I'm sorry, in Data's ear, he fucking pulls his arm off.
Yeah.
and presents the arm.
Yeah. And presents the argument that Data is just a collection of circuits built by a man, programmed by a man with a fancy AI algorithm with the purpose to serve human needs and interests. And now, dramatically, a man will turn it off. And with that, he pulls Data's power switch, and Data slumps over in his chair. Riker sits back down, deeply affected by what he knows he just did, what he was forced to do.
Yeah.
While Maddox smiles smugly next to him. I just want to smack the smug right off of that stupid face.
Yes, 100%.
And Picard, also affected by this demonstration and ready for a commercial break, calls for a recess.
From limitless options, I am reduced to none. Or rather, one. I can only hope that Commander Maddox is more capable than it would appear.
Data, you're not going to submit. We're going to fight this.
They're in 10 forward now, and Guinan and Picard are talking. And of course, where do you go when you're at the end of your rope? You go talk to Whoopi Goldberg.
You mean you wouldn't go to the therapist on the ship?
She is the therapist. Oh, good point.
Ooh.
Oh, but Guinan has the wisdom that, like, she's like a old person who's got like life wisdom, and that they're always going to steer you the right way. Or actually, they're not going to ever tell you what to do.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you a story, and you're going to figure it out.
Yep.
This scene, I actually posted a clip a while back, like a couple of years ago, actually, saying I can't wait till we get to this episode because this was such a powerful scene.
Yep. Guinan's like, hey, let me tell you about my people. You let this Maddox guy get a hold of Data, and soon we'll have whole armies of Datas programmed to do all the shit nobody else wants to do. Pick the cotton, clean the toilets, just generation after generation of disposable people whose feelings and welfare you don't have to care about. Sound familiar?
Yep.
So that gives Picard some new arguments. So he's back to the courtroom now to make this case. You can always count on Guinan to steer you there. I love it. Picard says, Commander Riker has dramatically demonstrated to this court that Lieutenant Commander Data is a machine. Do we deny that? No, because it is not relevant. We too are machines, just machines of a different type. Commander Riker has also reminded us that Lieutenant Commander Data was created by a human. Do we deny that? No, again, not relevant. Children are created from the building blocks of their parents. Are they property? There's a big contingent of people in the United States right now that would say that their children are their property, for sure.
Yeah, and that they have no rights, and they are systematically putting laws in place to take them away.
Yeah, I've recently been reading about like a children's rights movement that we need to have,
Yeah. Oh, this is a little sad too. So Data's on the stand. Picard is taking Data's little packing case. I guess when you're a Starfleet officer, you pack light. But he's taken Data's case, and he opens it, and he starts talking about the contents. And he's like, what are these? And Data says, those are my medals. Well, why do you pack them? What logical purpose do they serve? Data's like, I don't know. I just wanted them. Is that vanity? And in his Data way of asking about human behavior. And then he asks about the book, which was a gift from Picard, and he asked whether he valued it, and he says yes, because it's a reminder of friendship and service. And then, what's this? It's the little hologram of Tasha.
Data's like, wait, no, don't turn that on here. The little hollow Tasha porn.
Hollow Tasha porn. And he's like, well, you don't have any portraits of anyone else. Why is this person so special? And of course, Data's trying to not answer it. He's like, I promised I wouldn't say anything. He's like, well, she's dead. Under the circumstances, I don't think Tasha would mind.
So Data's like, we fucked. And and the little hollow Tasha on the desk goes,
Data, I'm only going to tell you this just once. It never happened.
This never happened. Right. And when he says that, we fucked, Philippa just like, oh.
She seems surprised by this revelation, like that this made some kind of impact and movement on her position on the situation right now, I guess.
Position on the situation. He is fully functional, and this seemed to matter to her.
Picard stands down, and Riker waves his cross-examination, so Data steps down from the stand. Then Picard calls Maddox to the stand as a hostile witness. And very much like Data, the computer begins reading out Maddox's accomplishments, and Picard's like, yes, he's an expert. Moving on. And Riker didn't object to this like Picard did earlier. Shouldn't he have wanted Maddox's expertise read into the record like this?
If he was doing his job to the best of his ability, I would think so. And that would have been like, Philippa would have been like, okay, you're letting him off easy. But
Yeah.
But at the same time, he did take off Data's hand and turn him off. So, fair play to you.
Anyway, Picard leads Maddox down a line of questioning to establish Data's sentience. Maddox, of course, holds that Data is not sentient, but then provides the criteria for sentience as intelligence, self-awareness, and consciousness. And, of course, Data's intelligence is not at all questionable. What about self-awareness? Again, Maddox provides a definition, and Picard asks Data, what are you doing right now? And Data's like, I'm taking part in a legal hearing to determine my rights and status. Am I a person or property? Picard asks, and what's at stake? Data says, my right to choose, perhaps my very life. Picard closes the case on self-awareness. Clearly, he's self-aware. He knows where he is and what he's doing and what the stakes are.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks Maddox, who is clearly getting uncomfortable now, do you like Commander Data? And Maddox is like, I don't know it well enough to know whether I like it or not. But he does admire Data for the engineering and programming achievement it represents. Picard is like circling the wounded prey now.
Nice.
And he gets Maddox to say that his life study has been toward creating more Datas. And Picard gets to speak the writer's favorite line, how many more?
How many more slaves do you need to do the work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds or thousands of new Datas. And isn't that bordering on creating a new race? And won't we be judged by how we treat that race? And this leads off a fantastic Lawyer Picard speech. Having easily met 2 of the 3 criteria for sentience, what if Data meets a 3rd in even the smallest way? This isn't so much about Data per se as it is about the creation of a new race and how we treat them. Now, sooner or later, this man or others like him will succeed in replicating Commander Data. And the decision you reach here today will determine how we will regard this creation of our genius. It will reveal the kind of people we are and what he is destined to be. It will reach far beyond this courtroom and this one android. It could significantly redefine the boundaries of personal liberty and freedom, expanding them for some, savagely curtailing them for others. Are you prepared to condemn him and all who come after him to servitude and slavery? Your Honor, Starfleet was founded to seek out new life. Well, there it sits. classic fucking Star Trek speech. It's
Beautiful.
so good.
Beautiful. And Philippe is like, yeah, and she's calling it Data and it, and she's like, it sits there looking at me, and I don't know what it is. She's like, is he a machine? Is he property? Does he have a soul? I don't know if he has a soul. I don't even know if I've got a soul, but I've got to give him the freedom to explore that question himself. And then, boom, it is the ruling of this court that Lieutenant Commander has the freedom to choose. Data walks over to Maddox and slaps him across the face. No, I'm kidding.
My answer is no. I'm not going to do your procedure. And Maddox agrees to cancel the transfer order. Data does tell him to keep working. Like, keep at it, buddy. You'll get it there one day. Like, a lot of what you're working on is interesting.
It's interesting, but it's like totally like placating him, like patting him on the head. It's okay. You'll get there. You're not smart enough, but it's okay. Keep trying.
Data leaves, and Maddox says to Lavoie, he's remarkable. And Lavoie's like, you just used his proper pronoun. So maybe there's hope for these people yet. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can still be angry.
Mm-hmm. Philippa tells Picard, see, sometimes the system does work. And he's like, hey, let's go to dinner and maybe fuck after. And she's like, only if you buy.
In the observation lounge, I think Riker's kind of sulking a little bit, like looking out the window, and Data comes in. He's like, hey, there's a party for me on the holodeck. But Riker feels pretty guilty. He feels like he has no right to be there. And Data's like, why? Because you failed?
Riker's like, no, I almost won. And that would have cost you your life. Data's humanity comes pouring out here as he tells Riker that he understands Lavoie would have summarily ruled against me if you hadn't agreed to be the prosecutor. You know, that act hurt you and saved me. Data says, I will not forget it. So, friendship restored. Off we go to the next adventure.
Oh,
boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but you know, I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
I wish the poker theme at the beginning had tied in better. The lesson to Data of sometimes you don't win by having the better hand, sometimes you win by making the other person think you have the better hand.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made the courtroom scene weak to me. So there wasn't a really great way to tie those together, but I feel like it could have been more something.
I don't know what they were trying to do at the beginning, but maybe the bluffing, but also maybe how Data understands, like I said, the mechanics and the technical aspects of a thing, but then eventually, after being around humans, he will learn what bluffing is and all that things. Those human nuances, like he will learn them eventually and store them in his data bank.
Right.
So
he does use it against Maddox at one point in the episode where he's like, you know, you can transfer the data, the information, the facts and figures, the ones and zeros, but you'll lose something. You lose my experience of it. And that's his example is like, you know, the poker game that I just played today.
Mm-hmm.
I understood the ones and zeros, but I didn't understand the humanity that goes in between. You know, you can you can read the rule book and understand it, but there's more to it than that.
And think of Data as a baby. Like, kids don't know this stuff either until we teach them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we teach them stuff. We teach them how to recognize certain things. Like, there's some of it is, yes, instinct about human behavior and feelings and all that, but a lot of it they have to have a guide.
I wasn't a fan of the resolution in the courtroom because Lavoie boils it down to, does Data have a soul? Which I don't think is accurate or worthy of courtroom discussion.
In the episode's defense, this was the 80s.
Right.
You know, I feel like if we were to do this episode now, it would look different and different arguments.
Oh, of course.
More relevant to where we are today. So it was 38 years ago, and the things that we're talking about now are I don't think soul. Only the religious people talk about whether you have a soul or not. But,
right. Of course.
But back then, that was an okay argument, I think.
But the question was, does Data deserve personhood rights? And I don't know if we got a great case on that specific question.
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't Picard push the third criteria? Consciousness. Why not just prove all three and leave no question behind? For drama?
Yeah, for drama. Maybe they didn't know the answer back then. I wonder. What is consciousness anyway?
They defined it for you in the episode.
I don't remember what was it. But to me it sounded like awareness.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of those are synonyms. Consciousness is the being aware and responsive to your surroundings and yourself.
If you awarded a medal and you give it a rank, then I would say you're already 90% on your way to treating him like a person.
Yeah, agreed.
But even with all of the flaws, this was such an important episode.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I would say one of the top 10 episodes that was super important.
I tried very hard to get friend of the show, Monica Miller, to join us for this episode, and unfortunately, she wasn't available. Monica was the legal director and senior counsel for the American Humanist Association for a decade, which is how I met her. She argued in front of the Supreme Court. And through that relationship, I learned about her work as an attorney with the Non-Human Rights Project. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I think we need to get Monica to do a personhood in Star Trek panel with us and come to a con.
Oh, yeah.
And the three of us can talk through just this personhood rights question as a panel topic. I think that would be great.
Yeah, especially with AI coming into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you turn around, AI this, AI that. I think it's something to definitely talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's crazy busy, so it'll be hard to get her to fly wherever. But
yeah.
The Non-Human Rights Project has been fighting through litigation, legislation, and advocacy on behalf of non-human animals. Think like elephants, chimpanzees, bonobos, trying to establish legal personhood rights under our laws, because right now they are treated as things, as less than human, just like Data in this episode. And our system today places humanity as this pinnacle of evolution, which is a nonsensical thing to start with, that we're higher ordered and above all other life in any meaningful way, rather than considering that life, sentience, just might look different than us.
Mm-hmm.
And assigning that a value, something that we care about.
And knowing that we still think that we are superior, knowing how humans are today, and then looking at Star Trek and the hope for the future, we are so far away from that because of that ego that we have. We do not belong in outer space with other species, because we have not arrived at that point as humans to realize we are not the end all and be all. We are not the shit. And somebody's going to have to prove that to us. We need to get our ass kicked for us to realize, to take us down a notch. So we do not belong in outer space right now. I love that this is the hope for the future, but we ain't there yet. And we need to stay the fuck out of space. Like, we want to go to space so bad.
We're toddlers in the grand scheme of the universe. We're just toddlers with rockets.
Yeah, and guns and bombs and stuff. And we have no business even talking to another race.
Anyway, I guess my takeaway is, with the Non-Human Rights Project, they've had some small victories, perhaps like this one today, and that while we didn't necessarily establish clear cleanly defined personhood for Data. We did at least determine that he's not property.
Yeah.
And I know this is a beloved episode for me too. I love this episode like everyone else, but did we just rule that black people aren't property, but they can't still vote or own land or not have the true liberty to direct their lives? Is that what we just ruled for Data?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it takes humans a little bit to like bend. The fact that slaves got their freedom in the first place was quite a feat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, you still can't vote. We still aren't going to treat you like a person. The United States Constitution isn't going to recognize you yet. Eventually, there are laws now to give us those rights. However, it doesn't change the minds of other people who will never, like Maddox changed his mind like that and saying, oh, he's extraordinary. Yeah, well, real people don't change their minds.
Nope.
And just start accepting black people. You know?
Mm-hmm.
We will always be less than in other people's eyes. And of course, that just translates to not just black people, but just anyone who isn't like them.
Yeah.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you.
I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money?
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
We want to thank everyone who supports the show. A special thank you to our founding admirals. A thank you to Allie, Peter, Sarah, Bruce, the Bear and Cured podcast. And this week, we want to welcome a new founding admiral. Drum roll. Welcome, Admiral. Some call him Tim.
Who?
Tim.
Some call him Tim?
Some call him Tim.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh.
I will call him George.
Well, welcome, Tim. Thank you for supporting.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca's back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for the measure of a man. Remind us first, though, the question.
What major issue did Gene Roddenberry have with this episode before it went into production?
All right, now I'm pretty sure I know the answer now, and that neither of us were correct, but remind us what our guesses were.
Sarah said that Riker had to prosecute Data, and Allie agreed.
Okay, and we have a listener guess from Lieutenant Karen. Here we go.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Allie. This is Karen Dramera, one of your subscribers. And I want to answer the question for measure.
Karen, we know who you are.
Right?
Was Gene Roddenberry upset because Data was identified as property of Starfleet, even though he was an officer and treated like anybody else? Did that go against Gene's kind of vision of the future that Starfleet would not consider someone or an officer property? Anyway, that's my answer, and I'll be seeing Allie soon in Las Vegas. Wish you were going, Sarah, but I'll meet you someday. Okay, bye.
Boo, boo.
Oh, thank you, Karen. Oh my gosh,
Karen, that was great.
I am so excited to hang out with her. She's the most amazing person, and we have so much fun.
Y'all are going to have a blast, and I'm still a little bit jealous. Yeah. Okay, so...
You're wrong.
We're all wrong.
I had an opportunity to show the captain my superior capabilities, and I failed. I can never recover from that.
Really? Oh, well, shoot. Well, then
Yeah,
what
damn
could
it.
it be then? Oh, wait. Maybe it's because of the way that Maddox was calling him it.
Now you're still wrong.
God damn it.
Sarah said she thinks she knows. So
Okay.
do you want to say what you
Okay.
think it is, or do you want me to just read the answer?
Well, before I tell you what I think it is, or before you tell me what the answer actually is, I want to say Karen's guess is really good. Why would Starfleet have allowed Data to have a rank, to have right to the personhood existed long before this episode?
Yeah.
That's not the answer still, but that's a great answer.
Yeah.
Gene didn't think that there would be lawyers in the future.
Yep. That's the answer.
God damn it.
Really?
Were you on my laptop?
No.
Okay.
I looked it up as I was taking notes for the show. I found it.
Yeah, he did not. He argued that there would be no lawyers in the 24th century. And writer Melinda Snodgrass convinced him that even if there was no crime, people would still have to settle civil disputes, negotiate contracts, etc. So Roddenberry relented and production of the episode went forward.
Let me just say, though, I love how positive he was thinking, as
Right?
if
Yeah.
to think that we wouldn't need lawyers because we wouldn't need to resolve any of these issues. So good for him.
Was he thinking we wouldn't need lawyers because we wouldn't need them to resolve our issues? Or was he just a big Shakespeare stan and was like, Shakespeare said kill all the lawyers, so that's what we're going to do? All right. Thanks, Karen, for sending in a message.
Yeah.
I love that guess.
I love those. Keep them coming, y'all. I love it.
Yeah, and the voicemail, I think, is my preferred method of communication.
I want to hear people's voices. I want to hear them talking it out.
Yeah.
To that end, I recently, as of yesterday, added a new feature to our website where you can go on and just click a button and record your message there.
Sweet.
So you can do that too.
Nice.
Now it's easier than ever.
Now, there are no fucking excuses. The original idea was if we get people to share their answers on social media, that gets us out on social media. It gets our show visible. But I like hearing your voices.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Either way, do it all. I love it.
I'm sending Karen a message right now saying,
Girl, you were wrong.
No. I'm not.
Don't tell her.
I'm not telling her.
I'm here for the serious answers, but I also want to hear the comedy.
Oh, me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've got some
Yeah.
really good comedic answers,
As we always say, if you can't be right, you can be funny.
make us laugh.
Always a fan of the comedy. Actually, it's preferred.
All right, next time we'll be reviewing Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, Episode 10, The Dauphin. Wesley finds romance with the beautiful young ruler of Daled 4, whose secret power could destroy the Enterprise and her crew. Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun.
I think I know what.
Yeah, is this the one, the girl in the egg? And she hatches too soon and Wesley falls in love. She imprints on the first man she sees or something?
No.
Something like that? And they fall in love?
I think
Is this a different one?
Imprint on egg? What the fuck? I don't remember this one. I don't remember that one. I think this the one where she has like this nanny and who looks like an old woman but suddenly turns.
Oh, but she's like a dragon or something?
She turns into this, like a little Ewok furry thing.
I don't remember that.
It's
an Ewok?
It looks like an Ewok. It's like a furry teddy bear looking creature.
Okay.
You remember? Okay.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. So, okay.
Oh, that's great. We could have two completely different episodes in mind. This will be fun.
Okay.
What's our question for the Dauphin?
Fans have somewhat derisively referred to this episode as Wesley reaches puberty. What rite of passage event happens?
He gets kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was some like physical activity or something.
He got himself a handy in the Jeffrey's tube.
Yeah. Or, yeah. Something.
Yeah, his first kiss. That's a good one. I think I'll go with that.
Gotta be. Or his first second base. I don't know. Pretty sure she at least.
I think you're right.
She at least kissed him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to kiss us, you can go to your social media and share this episode with your answer and the hashtag Starfleet Challenge. I charge, though. I'm trying to make some money here, so I'll kiss you, but it'll cost. Send us your answer. We'll pick out a winner. And next time, we'll talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 10, The Dauphin.
On Sarah's Only Trek Fans. Glory to your house.
Make it so, number one.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcasts. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Trek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.